All right. All right. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening for our very special session. This is Girl Talk. We are joining some beautiful, wonderful, courageous teenage girls this evening for our discussion on social media, racism, and faith. So, we are going to start with quick introductions. Ladies, I want you to go ahead and turn your screens on. Ariana, I see you keep turning off. You got to stop now. I want to see your face. Got to see your face, girl. Yep, I'm calling you out. I want to see your face. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to call out a name and then you go ahead and introduce yourself and say something amazing about yourself because you are all amazing. And then we're going to popcorn it and you're going to call someone name and then they're going to say something amazing about themselves. Okay? All right. So I'm going to start. My name is Shauna Washington. I am a founder of Social Butterfly and a wonderful lead of Neil 49. I'm super excited to be here with all of you. I am going to call Naomi.
Hi, I'm Naomi. I attend to Ronald Reagan High School. I am a female wrestler, and I'm 17. I don't know what else to add.
No, that's dope. You got popcorn, so you got to call someone else's name to go.
Leela.
Leela.
Okay. What I'm supposed to be saying?
Your name and just something awesome about yourself.
Oh, okay. My name is Leela, and something awesome. Me. It's me being me. I'm awesome.
Yes, being you, you are awesome. I love that. All right, popcorn, call someone else's name.
Mia.
Mia.
Okay, my name is Mia. I'm 14. I attend Rufus King High School and I like to dance.
Okay, dancer. Shout out to Rufus King alumni. Popcorn Mia.
Ari.
Hi, I'm Ari or Ariana. I'm 15. I go to Nicolay High School, and something amazing about me. Uh, I like to embroider. I do embroidery. So I'm gonna
That is
oh sorry.
no, I was gonna say that's dope. Go ahead.
I'm gonna call on Ariana.
Saved the best for last. Um, my name is Ariana, and I'm 16, and I go to Rufus King. And a fun fact about me is I like making money, so I can spend money.
Leave it to Ariana, y'all. Leave it to Ariana. Okay, so just so you know, if you haven't caught on, we have two Arianas. So the last one who went, we're gonna call her Ariana, and then the one who went right before her, we're gonna call her Ari. So we all know who is who in this space. Okay. Ladies, thank you so much again for joining us in this conversation this evening. We are going to hop right into our first question. In your own words, what is racism? How do you define it for yourself? Don't make me call names. Okay.
For me, in my personal description, I would say racism is an irrational fear of the unknown or what you're scared of. I feel like people who are racist are intimidated of people that they don't understand.
I personally think racism is a disease bred and constantly spread over time. And I think it stems from thinking one group is better than another or having a fear that one group could possibly become equal or better than one group.
Anyone else?
Oh, okay. I can go. Okay. I think racism is a judgment based on a certain color or ethnicity, um, that doesn't have to. It's like a personal opinion, so there's no facts around it. So it's just like a judgment upon someone's ethnicity or race or color.
Absolutely.
I will also agree. Racism is like it's like a form of hate, and sorry, it's a form. It's also like passed down from like generation to generation. It's taught. So I would say like it's taught hate. So yeah.
Mm, that was deep. Leila, anything?
Yeah, I agree with what they said. Yeah, basically it's like being judged on the color of your skin, and like if you're not the color that they want you to be or not, something that they're gonna judge you on that. They're gonna count you out because you're not the color they wanted you to be. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, with that, have any of you ever witnessed racism, right? Whether it was in your school, within your family, or even in your friend circle? Have you ever witnessed a racist or racism situation? And if so, what was it? If you want to share.
Definitely. Okay, so I was at the mall with my friends, and so like, you know how there's like the like little stores that's in the mall,
Mm-hmm.
not the ones that's like the common stores, but the ones that like people set up and they sell stuff. We were at one of those, and the lady kept following us around because she thought we was gonna steal. But then there was people actually in there that was stealing, and they was not like the same color I was. So she thought that since I was there and it was a group of us that we was gonna be stealing from her, but she wasn't even paying attention to who was actually taking from her. So yeah, she was racist.
Mm. And how did that situation make you feel?
It made me feel like I don't know, like she was wrong.
Yeah. Has something like that ever happened to anyone else being followed in the stores?
Um, not being followed in the stores, but at school. Not personally to me, but I've witnessed. It was crazy actually. It was a group of white boys. At recess time, it was a group of white boys, and it was one black boy, and they were chasing him around playing catch the slave. They were playing catch the slave, and that boy was crying. He was running from them, and the boys got reported. It was one boy who had said to play the game, and so he got reported to the school and everything. Didn't even get a suspension, an expulsion, none of that. But as soon as one fight breaks out in between some students or something, being of color, they get suspended for 2 weeks and miss school. So that type of thing I've noticed in schools, and that unfairness, because those are two different dexterities or seriousness. So
Absolutely.
I will also say school. We had a black male teacher. This is at my old school. We had a black male teacher. He was a math teacher. And one of the other teachers that works with younger kids, her daughter is in that class, is in the same class as I was with the black male teacher. And he was cool, but for some reason the mom just, or not the mom, but the teacher who's the mom to the daughter, um, just I guess felt some type of way. So the daughter would just, I guess you can call it snitching, even though there was really nothing to snitch on. So she would just kind of make up stuff and just take it out of context. So it was pretty wild because it's just like, dang, we can't have no, like, we don't really have a lot of black male teachers, especially like in school. So it was that was my first black male teacher actually. So
Mm.
it was just weird. Well, not weird because it's the world, but just it was hurting just to know that like you want a black teacher to just leave the school, like to get fired basically. So yeah.
All right. So when you just said that you was at first you said it was weird, and you said, well, it's not weird because that's the world, right? Um, but does that make it okay, right? Like it shouldn't be something that we see and it's like, oh, well, that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah, I should have just said like, because it's kind of normalized now, so it's just normalized. So yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone else witnessed racism within the schools or your family or friend circle? Okay. Has anyone personally experienced it? I know Leela shared a personal experience. Has anyone had a personal experience with racism? Okay. Well, I am happy to hear that a lot of you have not had to experience that for yourself personally. Um, yeah, I want to know um, when it comes like, okay, so who's on social media? Raise your hand, wave at me if you're on social media. Layla, Layla ducked off in the cut. Okay, so since you're on social media, right? How has social media, whether positively or negatively, affected your thoughts on racism with everything that's been going on, especially this year?
For me, when before I was more active on social media, which would be before quarantine, I was aware of what goes on in the world and all of the racism and all that stuff, but I wasn't really that focused on it. But now that I have been on social media more, I realize more of what is going on in the world and how the world is. Like the world is not made for me because of how it's been built and how the systems have run. And I've always thought that like, you know, it is fine for me to do these things or it's fine for me to do that, which it is, but it might not always be that case in maybe certain areas. I now have known that now that I've been on social media, I know it's some places in the South that I cannot go or I'll die. So being more on social media has opened my eyes more and helped me to see that and not everything is as it seems.
Mm, yeah, I'm in the South now, so I've definitely seen some things since I've been down here that I didn't see when I lived up north. Um, Anyone else? Social media, positive or negative? How has it affected your thoughts on racism?
I would say recently more so with like TikTok. I think TikTok has really become like a place where um activism and like racism and stuff like that. I think it gets spoken about a bit more on TikTok more than like any other social media platform. I think it's like creators from all over. You don't have to have like a really big following on TikTok to make your video go viral and then everyone see it and here's your message.
Hmm. So You're saying because with a lot of other social media platforms, it's kind of all about how many followers you have as to how people see your messaging. Is that what you're saying? Help me understand. I'm old.
or or how big it spreads and how many people like actually view it, because you could be like a random person, which most people are on TikTok, and you one video can go viral, which can cause your whole page to go viral and stuff like that.
Okay. Have you seen any negative things regarding racism?
Definitely, which comes with everything, because not everything is perfect and rainbows and sunshines, but I think we just take that with a grain of salt. Like they get their um well, most of the time they get like their account deactivated or they lose some of their following. But then there's also some people that actually do believe in what they believe and actually keep following them. So it all depends on how the person is at the end of the day.
What about you, Naomi?
Okay, so I think I agree with her. Like TikTok is a huge platform where activists get to speak upon like racism. So I did not know a lot about what was going on. I like knew that racism was a thing, but I didn't realize like how free how often it is like still today. Like TikTok, you're constantly being given like knowledge about what's going on in the world, and it kind of like gives me knowledge, like, and it's just like not a trendy thing. It's like something that people are constantly making us see that this is a problem, this is what's going on. And it like TikTok influences that we need to stand up for our rights, and that this is a problem and it's still a problem today, and it's not just a trend, it's a social issue and it needs to be solved. So I would say that TikTok has given a positive platform on racism.
I need to get a TikTok account because I don't have one. Don't laugh at me. I see some of y'all laughing at me. I don't have a TikTok account. What about you, Layla? If you're talking, you on mute, FYI.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My name is Leela.
Leela, I am so sorry. I will not make that mistake again. My
Okay.
apologies.
But yeah. Okay. What was your question?
Social media, how has it like positively or negatively like affected your thoughts on racism?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree with the TikTok thing because that's mainly what I'm on. I don't do no other social media. Yeah. Negatively, sometimes like, cause TikTok don't like. Well, you can report a video, but if they don't see nothing wrong with it, they'll keep it up. And recently, it was this video of this non-colored woman talking about racism and stuff, and how it's okay to say the N word to whoever, and like it could just you do what you do, and it got reported, and TikTok didn't do nothing about it, and it's like that's giving negative energy. Like y'all don't see nothing wrong with that, so yeah. But it's positive stuff that comes with it, like some non-colored people supporting Black Lives Matter and stuff.
Okay. Um, so everyone, so since we're talking about TikTok, are you on TikTok, Mia? You on TikTok too? Okay. See, I need to get with the program. Um, so like Leela had mentioned, right, that the negative stuff is out there and it's not getting reported. So do you think that the negative things, which is louder? Like which one is making more noise? the positive or the negative stuff, do you think, when it comes to your peers?
In my opinion, it's the positive stuff. Because like somebody could post something negative, one negative thing will turn into like 10 more positive videos. Cause there's gonna be somebody that gotta say something about the negative video that's gonna be positive on like what she said. It's gonna be the opposite of that video.
Okay. What about you, Mia? What do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with oops, sorry, hold on.
I'm like, where your face go, girl? What's in your face?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Leela. Just like seeing negativity makes people want to post more positivity and just outweigh the bad. So yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Everybody think the same thing, pretty much. That's what you've pretty much been saying. If you see one negative thing, it's like 10 positive things. Awesome. I see Dominique has joined us. I don't know if Dominique wants to come on and show her beautiful face and share with us. No obligation. Just thought I would, throw that opportunity out there if you wanted to, or if you're just here to support and just listen, that is fine as well.
Dominique is an adult that is here to support.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for coming and supporting. I appreciate that. I
No
apologize.
problem. I'm like, hold on, unmute myself. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm grown.
Okay.
I'm just here to support.
Okay, awesome. I apologize for thinking you were a child. But I am glad you are here for support. Amen. Okay. So I have another wonderful question. I feel like for at least one person, I can just assume what their answer might be, but I could be wrong. What or who has inspired you to become involved in the efforts to challenge racism, whether it's in your personal life, at school, around your friends, or even in the community? Who or what has inspired you?
I'll go. I would say my mom, because that's the type of work that she does with just social justice and just trying to end like police brutality and just working around things like youth justice and things like that. So I would definitely have to say my mom. So yeah.
Yes. Side note, shameless plug, I'm going. Shout out to Miss Charlene Moore, Urban Underground. Yes. Check out that organization, Urban Underground. Check it out. It is an amazing organization that works with our young people on issues just like this to get them to want to be advocates in the community. A lot of young people that came out of that organization are now serving the community in politics and in other arenas. So definitely, if you are interested in getting your child involved, or your child is interested, that is a phenomenal organization located in the city of Milwaukee. Shameless plug. Have no problems doing that. Anyway, so moving on, who is next? Who else has been inspired by someone or something to get involved?
I would say I have been inspired by my mom as well, but mainly by my community, my people, Black community, because I do see in the past and now what goes on and what we face. So it has made me want to be more active in fighting what we don't have to face and what we don't have to see or experience, because I mean, some of it isn't necessary. It really isn't.
Absolutely. What about you, Naomi?
I think the same thing. My community, where I live, and the people I'm surrounded by, they have definitely influenced me. Also, other people that I see that are activists and changing, um, changing society. Like they influence me to stand up and stand up for what's right and what needs to be heard.
Ariana, anything?
Okay, I'd say I've always been like an outspoken person. But I'd say more so about stuff like that. Well, not that really matters, but stuff that really is greatly impacted by more than just a small group of people. I'd say that you inspire me. And like when you still lived here, of course, we would like go out and do things for the community and stuff like that. Like Guns Down Milltown was like was kind of like one of the most impactful things that we did. Other things like Denim Day. And yeah, you were like one of the biggest impacts for me.
Oh, about to cry. I'm not gonna cry. Nope. Okay. Leela.
Okay. I would say what inspired me is my community and seeing that they can say something about it like and use their voice. Yeah, inspired me to use mine. They can do it. I can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, not that y'all asked, but I'm gonna share anyway. What inspires me are in this space right now. Young people um, are the reason why um, I advocate or why I work with other organizations like Power Girls and Urban Underground and just other phenomenal people in the community because you're our future. And with that, you know, we have to think of organizations like Plain English and how they created Nil for Nine from something that was so negative that is turning into something powerful, and for them to create this space for you to be able to have a platform to speak your piece and speak your heart. I think it's just individuals like that truly care about our future. And so I know that's why we do what we do, because our future is important and you are our future, and there's no future without any of you. So just wanted to share that. Um, so I got a final question before I open up the floor. Um, in what ways has your racial or ethnic background shaped your faith and your personal beliefs?
Okay, I'll start. Okay, I think personally for well, my household, um, I didn't always go to church, but like once my mom did start going to church, it was a okay, we're going to church and we're going every Sunday. If you live in this house, you're going to church. But it wasn't always like well for me it wasn't always like I'm going to church because I have to go to church, but I started going to church because I wanted to go to church. And like going to church after a while, I really started looking forward to going to church and stuff like that because it became fun to me, like the family environment, stuff like that. I started to look forward to it like every week, and then it became every Wednesday and stuff like that.
Okay. Ari, what about you?
Um, similar to Ariana. Church is like um basically it's I've grew up with church, so church is like a part of me, and God and all of my faith is a part of me. So going to church and praying to God for things that I need in life or things that I want for my life are like a normal thing for me. I think that being in church growing up is maybe like a maybe you could say an ethnic thing, because I know most black people, not all black people, but uh believe in God, I think. But I think that faith has a lot to do with my back my growing up.
Okay. What about you, Naomi?
With me, my family grew up with going to church, so it was like more of like a traditional thing. However, like when at first I like didn't I wasn't like active, like I really, God was God, and I didn't really have like much of a belief in God until I decided to um really learn about him. But yeah, as ethnicity wise, like I was taught that I should always like pray to God, go to church, as on every Sunday and be active.
What about you, Mia?
Yeah, I have to agree with everyone. Like I've grown up in like a church home, so um oh sorry. But yeah, like church is taught in our family, so it's something that we do and it's a I guess you could say it's a practice. But yeah, like for me, like when I was younger, I really didn't like, I guess you could say I was forced, but I wasn't forced because but I really didn't know, like I wasn't in tuned in my faith as much as I am today and now. But like as I got older, I started to understand, read my Bible more, and just and just pray more too. So yeah.
Okay, and what about you, Leela? Has your racial or ethnic background shaped your faith and or personal beliefs?
Yeah, I agree with everybody. You know, it was definitely taught in my family, and I know like some people in my family they didn't believe in God, and like they had to like learn about it more and actually build a relationship with Him. So yeah, but everybody believed in my family.
Okay, cool. So I have a one, like for real, one final question. Okay, maybe two. So maybe three. No, okay, I'm just kidding. Um, so right now you have the attention of adults. So I'm giving you an opportunity to share your heart. When it comes to social media, when it comes to racism and your faith and things that are going on in the world, especially right now, even just in your own community that's going on right now. Adults in your life or adults that you've seen on social media, have we been a positive or a negative influence when it comes to social media, racism, and faith? Just overall. So not even just, oh, well, my mom, she's amazing. So just overall, when you're on social media and you're looking, or when you're watching the news or whatever the case may be, like, has my generation or generations before me, because I'm not going to say I'm old, have we been being good role models overall, being good examples overall when it comes to those topics?
I think some of you have, but then on the other hand, some of you haven't. Like with a lot of the police brutality and stuff, they like the mindset that some of the older people have. It's like I'm trying to say this in the most respectful way possible, but like them saying that like for example, what happened earlier in the year, like the George Floyd situation, it was like, well maybe if he didn't resist arrest, like that would have never happened, but it's deeper than just like resisting arrest or just like the minor things that you think really like pulled the trigger. Basically, it's just like it's not really about what's happening in that moment, but the moments that laid up before that, like how that person was brought up and what that person deeply believes, whether um he he died because they thought he was using a fake 20, but someone else of a different race could be using a fake 20 and get away with it. Like it's nothing. Like on TikTok, a guy really says that he used that story to like pick up chicks and stuff like that when somebody literally lost their life over it. So I think like older people, they have this like a mindset like if you like almost like live in the guidelines of the way like police are supposed to be seen as, then you'll be protected and you won't be harmed or anything like that, but that's really not true.
Yeah, I agree with Ariana. no matter what the situation was or what happened, a life didn't deserve to get taken. Like nothing nobody does is that serious that, you know, their life gotta get took.
Yeah.
I think that it really does depend on like the person, because a lot of the times you do see good examples and good leadership in adults on social media, doing the right things, talking about the right things, to help people understand better. But then you also see that side of people where it's maybe some bias or like some things that don't really equate to what you need to hear or what you need to know. More so is hate or anger or things like that that don't really help the situation. So I feel like it really depends on the person and the type of person they are.
Absolutely.
Okay, I can speak.
Yes.
I had to change rooms. I'm sorry. So can you just repeat the question one more time so I'm getting the
Oh, no,
full
you're fine.
understanding?
Just overall, as adults, have we been good examples or not as it pertains to everything that's going on in the world, you know, and on social media with racism and faith in general? Like, have we been a positive influence or a negative influence, and why?
I think both. So your generation or the generation before, you guys gave us like more women rights, and you guys did like enforce many rights that led us today. However, on the other half, like, okay, the way I think of it is that you are not born being racist. You are not born to hate someone. You are taught that. So I feel like on the adults department, like the way you're doing, some people may be doing a bad job is teaching like that negative, you know, that negative energy towards their children or today's generation. I think our generation is more active um in the social justice movements. But you guys like the generation before you or the generation before your generation or the generation before was definitely like influenced us and definitely motivated us to um keep going for more movements or making more, justice, if that makes sense.
Makes sense. Absolutely. What are your thoughts, Mia?
Yeah, I would just have to agree with everything everyone said.
No, that's it. That's all you gonna get me. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. um. So before we go, I want you to think of food for thought. What is one thing that you would say to your peers if they were listening right now about social media, racism, and faith? What is one thing that you would say to your peers? Whether it's a one-liner, whether you want to drop bars, however you want to do it. What is one thing that you would say to your peers about this topic today?
I would say that we're well at my age group, 15 and up. I think that now that we're in our age and that we're here in these teenage years, we need to be more focused on what is going on in the world instead of just ourselves. Because before it didn't really, I guess, matter that much to us because we didn't really know. But now that we are at this age, we should be more aware of what is going on and trying to be um, a light in the situation and trying to be progressive instead of digressive.
I'd say stay woke and stay ready because a lot of people really need to like actually like tap into these bigger issues like such as racism, and then I say stay ready for the spiritual because a lot of people nowadays they don't believe in anything. Like they'll say they don't believe in God. So how do you wake up every day knowing that you have a purpose, or wake up every day wanting to keep living? Because life does get hard sometimes, and you do want to give up. But what do you look to a higher power to keep you motivated?
I would say be an influence like on social media. Like don't just post things that are just useless or not going to help educate somebody else on something, or just even educate yourself or something positive. Like, yeah, I would just say be an influence.
Okay, I would say that you are never too old or too young to learn and to be active. Um, it doesn't matter if you're 13, if you're 50, it's never too late to, educate yourself on these political issues and make a change. Like she said, stay woke and be ready. You're never too young and you're never too old to, you know, to change your opinion, to change the way society works. Never, like, don't think that, like, you're too late to do something you're not, because and always influence other people, and always give out evidence and knowledge, like influence people um on social justice.
Leila, you got anything?
Yeah, I agree with what everybody said. I would definitely tell them, like, use your voice. Always speak your mind. Your mind. Sorry. Always speak your mind. If you see something that's wrong and you don't like it, or like that's not right, speak up about it. You know. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so one last question for real, for real. This is really the last question. I promise y'all, this is the last one. Okay, so now you also have the ears of adults, right? I'm listening. You have other people in this space listening. Talk to us. What is something that you like? You got our undivided attention right now. So on the same thing, social media, racism, and faith. Like, what is it? What do you need to see? What do you need to hear? Like, what do you need from us to help you in your cause or be
Um,
different?
oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
I feel like for most adults, I think that the mindset of them are, since we are younger, we don't really know. But I feel like with social media and everything that we have now, we know a lot, and we know a lot of what's going on in the world. So I feel like adults should take teenagers and everybody's opinions more seriously, and our needs and everything, that we want to be heard. So if we're saying that we need a change, and adults are just like, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about, we feel as though we need to be heard.
I definitely agree with the we feel like we need to be heard because I think it's been time, but I really do think it's time that adults do start listening to teens. And the concept that we think we know everything, I hate it. It's quite annoying. Um, we don't think we know everything, but when we do feel strongly about something and we feel like we actually do know what we're talking about, I think that's when you should be listening the most. Like if we're sitting there quiet, then that can be your time to take over. But if we are really passionate and strongly leading on what we think we know something about, just listen to us because we more likely do know.
Mm-mm. Naomi and Mia.
Okay. I think that adults need to be supportive I think that I may be wrong. I'm not an adult. I don't have a child. I'm too young for that. But like, what I think is like maybe adults are like, I want to keep my child away from seeing racism. But honestly, like from where I live, it's very segregated. And I witness racism all the time, considering that I live in the South. So, you know, I think that adults should, you know, like support us and support our opinions and if anything, help us, and just be more active with us because, if you're not going to show us what racism is, other people are, and they're not going to like do it, so gentle. We're going to be exposed to racism um and social issues like regardless, and so adults can speak more of it and be more supportive about our opinions and won't shouldn't be so afraid. um yeah, that's what I think.
Absolutely. It was. Ladies, anything you want to share with that final thought?
Yeah, I have to agree with just being supportive and just letting youth voice be heard because a lot of times, basically what they said. But the youth, we are the future. So it's good to know, like, for the next generation to come that they'll be good and, we'll be ready to support them. So I think just being overall supportive is good.
I definitely agree with what everybody said. Be supportive, keep positive mindsets and stuff, and like guide us the right way. Yeah, and like listen to what we gotta say, and like, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I truly, truly, truly want to thank each and every one of you for coming into this space and sharing your heart, being brave, being transparent. Um, Again, like I said, those of us that are here is because we know the work is important and we support everything that you do, and everything that you are and desire to become. And so I definitely hope that you feel you were able to be yourself in this space and that your voice was heard. I definitely heard your voice. And so I definitely hope that you feel that this space created that opportunity for all of you. Um, so as we are closing out, I want to thank all of you for joining us. Coming up on Monday, the 23rd at 7 p.m. will be a conversation with Tressa Thomas on the ISMS of the entertainment industry. She was the little girl that was singing in the Five Heartbeats in Duck's bedroom. She's going to be talking about personal experiences with racism, sexism, ageism in the industry as a child star. So I definitely want to thank you all again for joining us. Catch us next time on the 23rd. It has been wonderful. If you're not following Nil for Nine, if you're not following Plain English, if you're not following Urban Underground, if you're not following Power Girls, if you're not following Social Butterfly, all the shameless plugs I just gave, follow, follow, follow. Important movements. Great things are happening in the community. Great things are happening in the cities, in our country. Yes, there's a lot of bad, but these young people here just shared their heart. They were just being transparent. Please do not let their voice go in one ear and out the other. Let's take in what they said and let's take action to help bring about change. Join these young people, grab them by the hands, and let's move forward together.